Before we get into the tweets itself, you wanted to talk about a little bit about the background of the word progressive, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll do that and then get into the tweets. And right before that, if you've made it this far in the podcast and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. But yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Sure. No, because we always discuss that we like the word progressive and why we like it. So I took a sort of a look into it, and I was ashamed not to know that. I was ashamed not to know its connections with something. So progressive originally comes from the writings of, I believe, Immanuel Kant and John Locke and that type of thing. But but the modern progressive political philosophy is really starts in the US at the crossing of at the beginning of the 20th century. And the most two prominent figures of them are Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson, among others. And you even had a progressive party set up in the UK by Theodore Roosevelt after he couldn't get the nominations.
In the UK?
Nomination. No, in the US. Did I say UK?
Yeah, maybe I misheard. My bad. Anyway.
In the United States. Sorry to clarify. And I don't know, do you know about Theodore Roosevelt much?
Not more than the average person, a little bit, but yeah.
No, it's not FDR though.
Yeah, it's not like just a little bit I've heard, but no.
He's a hunky guy with the pictures of guns and stuff. He is, to be honest, I did it among American presidents. He's always been my sort of favorite, even though I disagree with most of his policies. As a character, he's been like the most fun. I found that progressive in terms of political definition in the US was basically this middle class movement that came out of the Gilded Age. That was a reaction that this uncontrolled capital should be regulated based on meritocracy. Theodore Roosevelt was a huge social Darwinist, sadly to a racist extent. So that's the root of progressive. Jesus Christ, can you say it?
The word progressivism. Yeah.
Progressivism. But I would like to say that the reason why I like Theodore Roosevelt, and when I was reading about progressivism, I still thought that maybe we can use this word without being hypocrites too much, was that, I like the idea that they were very much active. They didn't there was two images or visions for the future of US. One was this village at top of the hill that all the other nations would aspire to, and one was one Theodore Roosevelt had in mind, which was in many ways more imperialistic, which might piss some people off on the left, which was, no, we have to be involved, we have to, like Philippines intervention and takeover was pretty much his initiative.
Yeah, it was right before he became president, if I'm not mistaken, no? Or while he was president. Anyway.
He was, I think he was a Secretary of State, and he pretty much, who was president? McKinley was, I think McKinley was president, or he
I really don't know.
There is this famous anecdote that he apparently went behind the president and would say that he had a spine like chocolate eclair, just to sort of poke him into intervening in Philippines and all that. So and in a way, maybe that's why I always had affinity for Christopher Hitchens and all that type of thing. Like, I always side on the more active side than like this sort of, although I admit that most of the time when you're active you tend to fuck up like the Iraq war and all that. So but I read up on our because we always have this discussion about what is progressive, what does it even mean, where does it come from, blah blah blah. But I just Yeah, if any, I mean, I don't obviously agree with most of the views of Theodore Roosevelt or anything, but I do like the disposition of being active and trying to goddamn fucking change the world rather than just
Oh,
even though I
really?
am very pessimist and
Yeah, I was gonna say.
cynic. No, but it's
Yeah.
cyclical, and we have
Mm.
to in the cycle we have to play our role, even if it's cyclical.